Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for showing up. As we said, that the title of it is Strategic Organizational Transformation. It's a process. It's not an event. So just by you showing up means something because you're putting your energy, your effort, and emotion into a methodology. And I'm just so thankful that you're here and that I get a chance to co-facilitate with Catherine Lord and Manly Feinberg. And it's awesome. Thank you, guys. And as we're putting this together, it's been amazing because we tend to think of everything as disjointed pieces of work that we do. People, process, tools, methodology, strategy. It's really a holistic approach. And nothing came evident more than during our planning of this event today. Because all of us come from the same perspective in different ways. And we get a chance to work with all of you to piece it all together. And this morning we saw some awards go on, right? And those awards were very, very impressive to me because they actually put the energy, effort, and emotion into a process in order to ignite people, the passion around people, right? And what else they did is they put in process, and they also put in tools and methodology, and they made it come alive. And so the objectives of today are to explore tactics and strategies for individual and organizational transformation. So you're going to get some of those tactics and strategies. Whether you choose to implement it is up to you. You don't have to. My goal would be you take one thing. Remember how yesterday the innovation expert, Newman, he said, make it simple. Take one thing. Make it simple as you can and implement it. And that's what I'm asking. One thing out of today, out of 3 people. If you take 2 or 3, so be it. But take one thing. And so we would ask each of you to be thinking about that. What is the one thing that you're going to implement today that's going to transform yourself and your organization? That makes sense? Awesome. Learn why transformation is a process, not an event. Years ago, when I started in this world, I would always go to a training session, and then the training would just sit on the shelf. How many of you ever been to something like that, where you go to training, and it just sits on the shelf, right? We all have been there. That's why it's really coaching and development. Even though training is great, it's really the coaching and development of yourself or getting a mentor or a coach to help you process it through. Because you can take all the information in the world, but if it sits on the shelf and you don't use it, it's like reading an exercise book but never showing up to exercise. It doesn't work. So we're gonna. It's a process. It goes on forever. And we're going to learn some key behaviors that promote increased effectiveness for transformational leaders. You guys are going to be transformational leaders after you leave here today. You believe it? All right. All right. We're going to come back to that one. I think we have some disbelievers. And we're going to leave with tools, techniques that provide guidance through the process. You're going to leave with some tools, methods, and techniques that will actually guide you through this process with the 3 of us. And commit to making a change. I've already mentioned that, so you guys are already committed. I already know that. There's some skepticism, which is good. It's good to have a little bit. I know, I'm not sure about this, but it's good. All good. All right. We're going to do an icebreaker. Anybody was in my session yesterday? Raise your hand. A couple people? Okay. So what we want to do, this is a little bit different. And so you should have had on your chair one side is a compass, and it says compass on it, and the other side is an icebreaker. So there's some questions to ask. So I want you to take a few minutes and answer those questions. And I also want you to answer another one. I always throw in another in case somebody's trying to give it to somebody who didn't show up. It's okay. The other question is, where did you grow up and how many siblings are in your family and what birth order are you? So add that question to there. I think where did you grow up might be in there. No. So add that. Where did you grow up? How many siblings do you have? And where were you born? First, second, third, etc. So I want you to fill that out here. Now listen to this. This is important. This instruction right here. Please put something that you feel comfortable that you would share with somebody else. That's a very important part of this instructional guide here. So remember that. Please put something that you feel comfortable sharing with somebody else. So we're going to give you a minute or two to fill this out. Take your time. Yesterday's was a little bit longer, so it takes a little longer. This one, you should be able to go through quicker. Okay. If you didn't finish, you can do it during the discussion. And what we're going to do now is, this is another important part of the discussion, we're going to pair up, and you could be with 3 people if you want, but we're going to pair up in 2s, and we're not going to just give the sheet over to the other person and say, here, read this thing. I see that in a lot of groups. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have a dialogue. You know what a dialogue is? A conversation, and you can go back and forth, or one person could go, and then the other person go, and you're listening to each other. So all your listening skills and all that. So why don't we do that now? Pair up and engage with each other. Come back. I know this is fun. Wow. How was this to do that? It was great. And feel free to use these back in your work environments, because I'm telling you the same thing will happen. What makes it fun and what makes it great? Learning about someone new. Did you ever feel you get so much energy learning about someone new? Okay. And what else makes it great? Perspective. What is that? What is perspective?
Just my view compared to his.
2 different views. Seeing the 2 different views. And yesterday's questions were more personal. These were more how you operate. Okay? And those perspectives and those views are important for us to see, right? And to really get to know and to bring it out. What else makes it good? Talking about things we like. So they get a chance to know what it is you like. What else? Awesome. Don't we love to talk about ourselves? Don't we love to be known? And this is what we're all about. And I love it because the teams that got together that created those this morning, that put in for those awards, they had to know each other better. What do we like? What do we not like? Just like this information. What else? Well, that's true. You want to see if you're part of the other people that are with you. Good point. Great perspectives. Well, yes. It's one tool. It's a great tool. I highly recommend it. If you haven't done it with your teams, do it with your teams. Put that down. I have not done Myers-Briggs. I'm going to do Myers-Briggs. I'm going to do a DISC. I'm going to do one of these tools. Excellent info. Thank you. It helps to know. Yes. It re-evaluates the value of human communication. Unbelievable. And we have people from all over here. I met people from Israel. I met people from Japan. I met people from all over, even California. Ohio. Okay. So it really does. How do we all communicate? What happens? And is this important from a work perspective? Why? Why do we care about business? Business is all money, earning, entrepreneurs, competition, all these things that we hear. But what about, we're dealing with all people and all this energy around people, and that's how you get them to be the most engaged, the most productive, the most talent. Thrust is by engaging people, right? Why is that so important? You can connect what you do. Why is that important to connect? Who cares? I'm the big guy running the whole thing. I don't want you to connect. I want you to get more money in. I own it. It's mine. And somebody said it. Money, right? It really does pay. Why not do the things that pay and have fun? You guys were having a lot of fun, weren't you? That's what I felt. It didn't seem sad in here to me. It was hard to get you to stop. But it's all really about business. And the world of business today is people. And you're going to see its process. You're going to see its tools and its people, process, and tools all integrated. And your role, the role of everybody in here, are leaders developing leaders. You're leaders because you showed up here at this conference, so you took a leadership step. and your leaders developing other leaders, because they're following you whether you know it or not. How you show up, they're watching you. And I like to look at everything through the lens of the Johari window. Joseph and Harry got together, developed this